Welcome to Friday Vibes. No scripts, just chat. We talk all things food and beverage, and so much more. Feel our vibe and search for Friday Vibes on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And make sure to give us a 5-star review. Now your hosts, me, Alex Bear with Genius Juice, and Wade Yeti. Hello. Welcome to episode 48 of Friday Vibes, No Scripts, Just Chat. I am one of your co-hosts. There's two, in case you didn't pick up on that. I'm Alex Bear, Genius Juice, co-founder and CEO. And I pointed the wrong. I know that it's
obvious, and it's taken 48 episodes, but I figured out how to point.
But you know why I'm pointing this way? Because you're in California. I'm in California. I'm pointing this general direction because you're somewhere in California.
Yeah,
so
I'm south. I'm south of you right now.
South, very.
I'm guessing.
Hold on, south is that way. Okay, got to point that way. Okay,
right. And you're north, so that's that way.
Yeah, maybe. Wade is among us everywhere, so I'm pointing to the clouds. You know,
right on.
And for those that don't know, and now you know, I think there's this new. I don't know if you've noticed on LinkedIn, there's a new meme or like hashtag. It's if you know, you know, or something like that. It's like IYK, I think. I'm like, wow, where did that come from? You've been seeing that, right?
I've seen it. I don't know that I've seen it so much on LinkedIn. I've seen it elsewhere. But yeah, it's out there. I have yet to see it on LinkedIn though.
Yeah, I saw it like this morning, and I saw it yesterday. I'm like, this is warning signs. It's becoming a viral thing, some ridiculous viral thing, like ice baths, right? I'm trying to make that viral. Not a great attempt though. I mean, I'm 0 for 3. All 3 people I challenged, 2 people said, no, all 3 said, I don't want to be seen with my shirt off. I'm like, okay, well, shot on and missed.
I was going to say I could jump in the ocean. Does that qualify as
that qualifies? Yeah, I mean that's ice cold right now, dude.
It's probably pretty cold. Speaking of which, it's funny, we could not have timed this trip any better as far as coming here because I think we left in it was low 20s or something, and I checked this morning, and it's cold. And last weekend or 2 weekends ago, we were in Madison, and it's like -4, and with the wind chill, it's like -31. And, we're originally from Ohio. I checked the forecast there. It's pretty much the same there, too. It's like -2, but with the wind chill, it's like -25 or something like that. So, my social media is blowing up from people at home. Businesses are closed, and people are talking about how frigid it is. And I'm like, I was out. I got a little sun yesterday. I had to put sunscreen on my head. So couldn't have timed it any better. So.
Yeah. I think, great timing on your part. And it's crazy what's going on out there. And I feel for everyone in the Midwest and the East Coast and how brutal the weather is. And I think it's coming from like Canada. I heard like these bomb cyclones are coming from north to south. And I'm in Avila Beach right now. Like you're traveling, you're in Carlsbad. You're probably doing this from the bar room at Smitty's or something.
It's funny. Grubby's.
Grubby's. I'm thinking Smitty's.
Did make an appearance at Grubby's last night.
You did? So, okay.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So
really cool bar. Love it.
We got in early Wednesday. Actually, we came in around lunchtime on Wednesday. We left Carlsbad, Greensboro at like our flight out was like 6 a.m. and we flew into Atlanta, and we only had, if you've ever been to the Atlanta airport, it's literally the busiest airport in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many connecting flights here. We only had an hour in Atlanta And so we're kind of a little nervous about that with being busy and whatnot. And we were in Greensboro. It's a short flight to Atlanta from Greensboro, and we got on the plane. Everything's fine, and it literally sat there for like half an hour because they had to de-ice the wings.
Right.
And so we got to Greensboro Airport. Is so tiny. Normally you can roll up there probably half an hour before your flight. We have
there's not even security there.
We have pre-check too, and it's kind of a joke because you literally just go right through. It's so fast. So
right.
we did our normal thing. Well, we're pretty versed travelers, and we typically don't do check bags, and we're going to be out here for a week, and of course doing some dinners and things like that. So we both check bags, and you forget how long that whole process takes when you usually just roll up, go through TSA, boom, you're done, right, with a carry-on. Well, we checked bags, and we rolled up there, and the line for checking bags was crazy. And then TSA was backed up because everybody's traveling, and this is for 6 a.m. in Greensboro. And then we get to Atlanta, and we got off the plane, literally our flight was boarding as soon as we got off the plane for the next one. It was just boom, 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 boom. So I think, we spent this least amount of time I think I've ever spent as far as we went straight through TSA in Greensboro, straight to boarding, hopped off Atlanta, went straight to boarding, boom, gone. So it's been crazy. We get caught up with my Jimbo's peeps yesterday a little bit. I got to see Billy and Jason, which was cool.
Yep.
And we going to see Luke Abbott tonight, I think.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Dinner.
So our sponsor with V Driven.
There's
a little plug for him. So going to see him tonight, and beyond that, we'll see what the week brings us. It's been fun so far, though. It's been pretty crazy. 36 hours or so.
Yeah. It's like back to back planes, trains, and automobiles. So for those that are just tuning in, I'm in Avila Beach. I'm at the beautiful Sycamore Hot Springs, right up in the middle of the mountains, just about 5 miles south of San Luis Obispo, which is where I went to school, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Wade is even though it looks like we're in the same room from our background. That's what's so funny about this. I mean, the blinds here and your blinds and the white wall, it looks like literally you're right there, like we're in the same room, but we're not. We're in the same state.
That's right.
He's in Carlsbad. I'm in Avila Beach. We're both in California. We have returned to our 8 a.m. time slot for today. This is literally our gift to everyone. I mean, we're at the eve of Christmas.
That's right.
And we're on vacation, we're traveling, and we just wanted to do this show just as a gift to everyone here, and to do special shout outs. So, and there's a lot of updates we can talk about in the CPG world. But before we get to that, just some laundry list items. Number one thing to mention is we're still in the top 10 in Chile right now. So I got a new updated chart ranking. Chile in December. I mean, it's hot in December, right? So when it comes to this show, we're on fire right now. So we're in the top 10 under entrepreneurship in Chile, and we're in the top 40 under podcasting for business. So podcast rankings charts worldwide. We are ranking in Chile, New Zealand, and also we were top 100 in North America earlier this year. And make sure to give us 5 stars. We are at 72 now. So nice. We are on our way, our road to 100. Patrick Sinclair, shout out right there.
Nice.
And I'm going to read some comments here. That's what we do on the show. I already posted Kenny Hausman's. Buffalo is the same boat. I cannot complain about the weather here. I think he meant the same boat, meaning that's right, because he's in Hawaii. So Buffalo's really bad. Kenny's in Hawaii. This 8 a.m. time slot, the one thing I'm realizing is that, like, I'm not as quick. I'm still like waking up. So bear with me on this episode. I'm going to be very slow. What other comments here? We got Stephanie Hui. Greetings, Alex Bear, Wade Yenny. Happy Friday from I'm sure San Francisco is also cold. I mean, San Francisco's freaking cold during the winter. And I mean, I saw a post from someone in Oakland over a couple days ago where there was a fountain near downtown that was frozen over or something. it was like ice. It was not even
Really?
water.
Well, allegedly, I'm looking at it's 48. It actually looks like it's pretty decent there. The high is going to be upper 50s, it looks like, and tomorrow's going to be low 60s, and Sunday and sunny. So
Hmm.
it's, I mean, I think it's relative here too. As far as I think currently it's not quite 50, but as long as the sun's out, it feels awesome. It's kind of the way it is. If the sun's out, take the sun away and it's cold.
Exactly.
The same temperature, it's freezing, but with the sun out, it's fine. So
Exactly. And like
yeah,
here, it's there's a sun out almost every day, and it's California. And
exactly.
I went golfing too at Avila Golf Resort, which right near the ocean, right near the beach, but the golf course was terrible condition.
Really.
They've had no water to irrigate the course, and
Hmm.
I played with a couple locals, and they're like, "We have one rule when you play at Avila Golf Resort: when you hit your ball in the fairway, you can move it anywhere you want because you're probably going to be in a bad spot, like a
Wow.
ditch or." I mean, I hit it in the fairway and I landed on a tree branch that collapsed in the middle of the fairway. I'm like, is anyone maintaining this course, or is it just, it was funny. So, Dima Moraru with Guru Energy. Good morning. I also want to shout out Michael Bonicato with I can't. I always screw up his company name. I think it's Premier Sales something, or I can't remember. You can look it up for me, Wade. But
Yeah.
Michael Bonicato, he runs a brokerage that helps sell into conventional accounts, CPG, food and beverage industry, and he's really good at what he does. And he sent me a gift package, which is waiting for me at home. So thank you, Michael Bonicato. Sarah Hewitt, happy day. Good to see you, Sarah. Marcia Yensko, you made ice look hot, Alex. Yeah, it was interesting. I won't go into detail about it, but I did it. For those that don't know, I did an ice bath. We talked about it like right in the beginning of this episode. We're in the hot springs. I put cold water. I dumped 15 pounds of ice, and like anything, the first 30 seconds was really bad. Like I thought I would have to jump out. When you first dunk in, I'm like, I can't handle this. But it's a power of the mind. If you tell yourself, I can do this, I can handle this, I can get through this, eventually it gets better and better and better. So have you done an ice bath before, Earl?
I've done a cold shower, but I've not done an ice bath. I've heard things. It's kind of hard to fathom, especially coming out of like here I can almost see it, right? But in Greensboro, when it's below freezing currently,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to do
not
an ice
really,
bath
you know what I mean?
outside.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah,
you're,
it's
you're going to jump into the water and it's going to be frozen by the time you try to get in.
right,
It's going to be
exactly.
ice. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But so the question, I guess, is would you do it again?
Yeah, I'm going to do it this morning right after this.
You are going to do it. Okay.
I think
Maybe
like
we should
anything,
do it.
like
Maybe we should
uh,
have you do it live, on the show.
man, I mean, that's a big challenge right there, and I don't know if I can carry this computer 2 rooms over. It's too much work.
Hmm.
Um, but I will. I'll video it one more time, and I'll send it to select friends and family. I'll send it to you, but I'll definitely not send it out to everyone. People have seen me half naked once. They don't want to see me again. They don't want to see me again. It,
Hmm.
it's it wasn't clickbait. I'll tell you that much. It was not. It was what's the opposite of clickbait? Like click scare. Like when you see, when like you see the still image of the video, right? Like a preview image, and like you see
Right.
me half naked. It's not clickbait. It's click scare.
Oh
Um,
goodness.
but I felt really good. About 45 seconds in, like the first 30 seconds, brutal. Like I was just breathing. My mind is like fight or flight. Like I can't do this. This is really
Right.
bad, and I got to get out, and I'm gonna die in here. And then after about 30, 40 seconds, the body adjusted,
Right.
and it felt like it wasn't even cold anymore. That's what was so crazy about it.
Hmm.
And I've done cold showers, Wade, and
Right.
and the difference is I don't know what I mean. I do, not to get into utmost detail, but I do hot in the shower, then I go cold. Right.
Right. Right. Yep.
That it's easy. It's easier, and it's still hard, but it's easier. This one is like there's no preparation. There's no ease in. You're just
Right.
like normal to 30 degrees. And so it's a shock to your body. And I think it
Right.
helps your heart and your blood pressure.
It's
So
like the back home they do the polar bear challenge. People jump in bodies of water in the like this time of year.
like 30 degrees, 25 degrees.
Yeah. Just never was on the top of my to-do list, but I don't know. But Gavin's on here. Maybe he did that in Michigan once or twice.
Yeah, probably. B Rabbit was jumping in some really cold water. And I'm actually jealous of those people because when you have a body of water and you jump in, you can't turn back. You're in the
Right.
air. You can't
Right.
turn. You can't like in the air freeze and then turn around and go back out.
Right.
In the ice bath, the brutal thing is you put your legs in first.
Right. So
You're like
it's you're teasing yourself, and then you have to follow
torturing.
through.
Torturing is a
Right.
better word.
Yeah.
So,
That's
all
cool.
right, let's keep going here. There's I think there's a question for you from Dana Harari. I was going to ask you, Wade, if you had some inside information about the weather. Okay, you already do.
Yep.
You already said that. I'm backed up here. And then Schonberg, North Florida will be colder than I've ever seen in my 8 years. Who else? Sarah Stender Delaney. I think she won the prize last week, right? Didn't she?
Yep.
Hi, all. Snow in North Carolina, but still working out in my garage while I listen to the ice storm. I guess that means.
Well, she listened to us.
Listen to us.
Yes.
8 a.m., man. I'm not
I was
even
gonna say
catching.
we're motivational speakers to have people work out to, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's either you listen to our voices to go to sleep or to get inspired, and nothing in between. So Coco Veni Zaldivar, so he was the person that inspired me to do the ice bath, not to over-index on the subject, but he just posted his ice bath challenge. So this guy's awesome. He runs a company called Coco Taps. Have you seen these? Like the fresh coconuts?
Yes, I have. That's
tap
very
on
cool. Very cool. I was thinking, what was the challenge? It's been several years ago. Was it the ice bucket challenge when people dumped the water over their head or something like that? That was it.
Yeah,
Remember?
there was an ice bucket challenge. And then there was also like the one where like you do a kick and you take the cap off the bottle. You remember that one?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, like GT Dave did it, which is funny because I'm holding GTs. But they had the ice bucket challenge, and there's the one where you do a kick, like a kind of a roundhouse kick, and all you kick is the cap to spin the cap off the bottle.
I don't remember that one. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Speaking of sidekicking something, Gavin Conkle, the best part of the ice bath video was that handsome baby at the end.
Yeah, that was cute. I like that.
Yeah. He's beautiful, Alex. Yeah, it was funny. We dressed him in Santa Claus attire, the Christmas gear, and he had the Santa hat. I got to say, I'll send you a video of this, Wade, that we brought little Aaron, our son, with that attire to downtown San Luis Obispo yesterday.
Right.
And there was a farmer's market, like a nighttime farmer's market with tons of cool products and, people. And Whalebird was there, Whalebird kombucha. And it was odd because they're from SLO. And just walking through the farmer's market and through restaurants, we had so many people looking at the baby.
Nice.
So many, like, oh, so cute. And like I would say at least 30 people looked at him and commented or looked at him and congratulated us. It was awesome. Like,
that's sweet.
He was the star of the show. And then he loves the lights. I mean, kids like love lights. And it was the first time that we took him out, right, to like a downtown area, like anywhere public, like real public, like busy. And he was like sensory overload. He was like tripping out, like so many lights downtown. It was really beautiful.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So what else? A couple other comments, and then we'll get back to just this, this thing.
Right.
Gavin Conkle, shit, Kenny, some of us Friday team calls at around this time. Congratulations, by the way, Gavin, on Blackbird. They're now in 2,000 stores. It went from 1,000 to 2,000 in 1 year. So awesome stuff. And by the way, so I'll turn off I'll go back to us here. Guess who I'm visiting? Now trivia. Who is in San Luis Obispo? What company? And they manufacture here. Who am I visiting?
I don't know.
Just think of who would Alex want to visit? What brands are Alex obsessed with?
Well, I was going to say Coconut Cold.
That's it.
Did I get it?
Yep. They are off
Nice.
Kendall here in San Luis. And Ari Raz, the CEO of Coconut Cold, such a stand-up guy. I called him, or I texted. I did a voice text, which is the new calling for millennials. And I just said, "Hey, man, like I'm in town. Can I swing by? I'd love to see your operations." He's like, "Well, we're so busy right now, we can't even give tours, but come by. You can get a quick glimpse of all the magic, Ari and the yogurt factory, and we'll ask for this guy, and he will come out and give you some free jars on the house. Just come by." I'm like, that is
Nice.
so nice of them. So I'm going
Is
by in a couple
Ari
hours.
is Ari up there? Is he up there, or is he down my way?
He's in San Diego.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So he's having like his plant manager or someone on the floor just come over and greet me. And I'd love to see the magic happen, but I think I would be interrupting. I mean, if I go in there, they'll miss an order to Unify.
Right.
I'll distract them. I don't
I
want to do
was
that.
going to say they might put you to work.
Yeah, I would, dude. I will go on the line, but they might lose some profits. There'll be some disappearing inventory.
There you go.
So, Stephanie, I was going to also say Coconut Cold. All right, so you're in Carlsbad.
Yeah.
What are you going to do for the next few days? What's the itinerary?
Well, I was gonna say, I mentioned we're seeing Luke tonight.
Yep.
We of course spend a lot of time with our daughter, so and really don't have anything locked down aside from dinner tonight with Luke and hanging out with our daughter. We're just gonna enjoy the environment, and go to a lot of the places we used to go when we were here, and might catch up with a few other people depending on, it's tough because it's the holidays, right? So some things are closed and people are traveling and different things. So we're here we fly out not early afternoon next Wednesday. So we'll see what we get into. Hopefully just enjoying the time off. It's funny because we were talking about this. This is the longest amount of time I've had off from work since I left Louisiana and moved to California, because we took off then and drove, and that took a week off then, but that was back in mid 2020. But so having a complete week off from work is the most I've had in 2 years. So we're just going to enjoy that.
Yeah, it's long overdue for sure. So you mentioned Luke. I forgot to mention again this 8 a.m. time slot. Just brain fog across my head is Be Driven. They are our sponsor, our permanent sponsor on Friday Vibes. Be Driven. They are an amazing organization headed up by Luke Abbott that Wade's going to meet up with tonight for a wine and dine experience. And Luke's good at that. He loves taking people out and building relationships. And he really focuses on being your sales organization. That's what Be Driven does. Like when it's hard to afford a VP of sales like Gavin, right? So, not everyone can afford a Gavin to be full-time. I don't know what Gavin's being paid, but most VP of sales, let's say they're getting paid anywhere, from 80,000 to 150,000 to 200,000.
Right.
And that's a lot of money. Or you can hire Be Driven, and they can be your outsourced sales organization, and they have so many relationships. They know so many buyers. I mean, when I went to Expo West being represented by Be Driven, they introduced me to a lot of buyers just in the hallway. Like I didn't even know who they were. And then the buyers are like, "Why are they introducing me to this guy? God damn it." No, but so they're a great organization. Make sure to reach out to let's see. I have it pulled. I don't have it pulled up. Do you have the sheet pulled up, Wade?
I do. 1 second.
So while he's doing that, Luke Abbott is the CEO. He's great. They also have Brandon Mahin as well, and they have a couple other team members, and they're great. Make sure to reach out to them. They can represent you. They can help scale your brand.
Right on. Right on. Yeah, I put the link, the website, as well as Luke's contact information in the chat. So, yeah, give me a yell.
Cool. And Gavin is pretty pricey, but worth it, from Kenny Hausman. So, all right. Well, what else can we talk about? I mean, I'm wearing the Credo shirt. I love this shirt. It's a nut, and you got the bona fide. This is the old school stuff we wore, like in the beginning, kind of early on in the episodes. And yeah, so that's really cool that we're kind of going back to our roots. And yeah, so I think I think we're just really grateful for all the support we've gotten on the show, for this year, how much it's taken off, how many people are tuning in. So we send all our love to everyone that has tuned in and made us number 8 in Chile. I mean, that's been the biggest accomplishment here. And no, but we love you guys. Wade and I we enjoy doing this. Like, we love doing this. We're not expecting to get paid. It'd be nice, but we're not expecting it. And we just love to give back to the community, offer our advice, offer our insight. What are the trends? How do you raise capital? And I think the coolest thing about this show, I feel, is that I'm a brand. So you get that perspective from me. How do you build a brand? How do you innovate? How do you survive in this market and grow, despite all the challenges? And then from Wade's side, he's over there, south in Carlsbad. He's from the buyer's perspective, bringing in new items, not fucking sending something on Thursday to arrive over the weekend, and going bad. Tips on, he's like, yeah, don't do that. Tips on how to approach buyers. What's the etiquette? How do you get your items in? What are retailers looking for as far as partnerships and support? So we just love that we can offer this to everyone and be a resource for you guys.
Yeah, and I don't remember the date of our first episode. Did we start it in January? It seems to me that we started in December, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think the first episode we did was the one that never got recorded. We were on for like an hour and 10 minutes. And that was in November or December, I remember. And then it was the lost episode, and it was funny. We're like, this is really fun. We're not even recording this. We're just chatting,
Right.
It was awesome. And we're like, I think we're going to be great friends and co-hosts doing this. And so the first episode I remember was like the first week in January, I believe. And yeah, and we haven't looked back since. And we missed 4 weeks, which is why we're episode 48. So
coming up on a full year.
Yep, exactly. So maybe we should do something special for the 1 year anniversary. I don't know what that would look like, but maybe
we'll have to talk about that. We'll have to figure that out.
A non-expense paid trip to to Greensboro or something. I don't know. Non-expense, not all expense.
Love it.
So I don't know. How do you feel? How do you feel the year went?
I think it's been great. I mean, it's hard to top what you said. I mean, this is enjoyable for us, right? I mean, we've obviously we've grown our relationship, but beyond that, just the connecting that we've been able to do just across the board. And it's funny. I think I brought this up. We had my company had our own food show in Orlando in, gosh, what was that? October, I think. And it's funny because I had several people come up to me and say, hey, we've never met, but, I've watched the show or I've listened to the show. And that was kind of cool, because, we obviously have the people that we interact with here live, but, and I don't know, we've talked about this a little bit, but we really haven't done a lot with it as far as the reach for people that are downloading it on the whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts or what have you. And so that's kind of invisible, at least to me, as far as how many people are actually doing it that way, as opposed to the people we talk to each and every week here. The Gavins and the Kennys and Stephanies and all those people. So it's kind of cool to think that there's this whole other world out there in New Zealand and Chile and wherever else that people are listening, as opposed to being here live with us. So that's kind of fun. But no, I think it's been fantastic. It's been a fun year, and looking forward to what the future brings. We've got V-Driven sponsoring us. We've got a lot of sponsors coming up in the coming weeks. I think we've got some guests scheduled. I don't think we have anybody scheduled for maybe 2 more weeks. But we've got, or no, next week actually. Will with IQ Bar is going to be with us next week, right?
Yeah, I'm looking it up now because it's funny. I don't have my second screen here because I'm at my laptop. But we are, Will Nitze, IQ Bar will be next week for episode 49. It will be sponsored by Rich Insights, Richard Moniz.
Right. And then Allie Kane with Haven's Kitchens coming up. We got Brad Woodgate, Luke Abbott, all coming up in the first few weeks of the new year. So we're going to top our anniversary party and go out with a bang as far as guests and whatnot. So
exactly. And then, I think you said it well said, man. And you I would say you one-upped it. You weren't expecting to, but you did. It was great. So
well, and it's talking about things to talk about. Tia brought up a good point here as far as the connecting people, and she's spot on as far as layoffs and in CPG. I know there was the merger with Misfits and Misfit Market, and what's the other? Who'd they merge with? The oh, come on.
I haven't taken my ice bath yet. I can't. I'm not awake.
Let's see. I'll find it. Imperfect Foods. Imperfect Foods. Misfit Market acquired Imperfect Foods, and there was a ton of layoffs with that. That merger. As often happens when a company acquires another. There's some synergies, and obviously they don't need two different sales forces or operations and things like that. So a lot of times that's what happens, and so there's a lot of people looking for opportunities as you go into 2023. So I think Tia hit the nail on the head as far as connecting, and just the little things when you see somebody post something, or whether you like it or comment on it, the algorithms it shares it to people that you might not be connected with personally, but by someone liking or something like that, they'll see it. And so there's a lot that you can do as far as connecting people that really would help. So
exactly. And then Sean Berg also commenting on layoffs have been crushers this year. I can't wait to hire folks to help. And it's going around right now. There's a lot of pullback. I mean, we've had to lay off a few people on our side, more contractors, and more like brand partners versus full time. Our full time staff, the core, has stayed with Genius Juice because we can't run this company without a great team, and we have a great team here. But I think this is we're going to be in this for another 9 to 12 months. That's the way that I'm looking at this. I think the effects, people getting laid off, less money. They have less money to spend on products. Companies are selling less products. They're not going to have as much sales. Not as much sales. They can't hire people. It's this whole trickle down effect that's happening. So I'm optimistic that we're going to make a turnaround next year at some point, but I know it's going to be another 9 to 12 months of a tough road. And Mark and I spoke about that on our little one-off show, that just brace for it. I mean, I've said this before, brace for it as a brand, keep cutting wherever you can, cut expenses, focus on margin, and try to get profitable this year if you can. And, one way that's really interesting that I haven't said yet is with our shots, that we're coming out with, the Genius Boost shots, which we're finishing off the branding. It's looking pretty damn good. And we are not focusing on doors. We're just focusing on going into maybe 100 doors, maybe 200, and just doing really well in those doors. Like, I will go there and demo. Like, I will send my director of sales or sales manager, just go demo 5 times at an Erewhon, demo 10 times at Jimbo's, right. Granted, we get into Jimbo's, but just support the stores and get big velocity out those stores and really build that story. And then that's one thing we're focusing on, is just doubling down with our retail partnerships, the inch wide, mile deep. And the other one is also to be profitable in 1 year with the shots, right away, not to be losing money in the first year. So those are the two big initiatives we have here. And they're not easy. It's not easy to be profitable your first year with a new line, but I think brands need to start thinking more that way.
Right. Right. Well, it's, whether you talk about it from a professional standpoint or a personal, personal standpoint, as far as how you spend your money and what you spend your money on, right? You've got to be smart. And as wallets are a lot thinner right now with inflation and everything going on, it's just that much more important to do the right things in your business, as far as the inch wide, mile deep philosophy is, and spending the money where it's going to get you the return, as opposed to, now is not the time to go crazy in accounts that don't make sense for you, right? I mean, it's not the time to do that right now. Everybody has to be wise with their choices. So
exactly. Yeah, I don't see VCs really. I mean, when you look at just the news, kind of the newsreel right on LinkedIn, I mean, how many deals have happened in the last 4 to 6 months, right? Like VC investment deals. I remember Poppy, but Poppy's huge. They raised 25 million. Ouroboros, I know, raised like 5 million. I know Dream Pops earlier, I think way early in 2022. But how many deals have happened like from VCs? And so not that many. Very few.
The one that actually kind of caught me by surprise, just this past week, was True Fruit. Are you familiar with True Fruit?
Yeah, the one that got bought. They're like
Mars.
Mars. By Mars. Yeah, they do
yes,
like
they have
again? What do they do?
They have a shelf stable like dried fruit type item, and then they also have a frozen like chocolate covered item as well, or items I should say. But that one kind of surprised me. But that happened, although I have yet to see the financial aspect of what that looked like, as far as what the acquisition cost was. But that one just happened last week. So
yeah, that's a really good point to make, is that not everything is what it seems. I'm not saying it was a bad thing, or like a fire sale or anything like that, but brands are either running out of money, or they're realizing I'm going into tough times and I need to be acquired. And we've talked about this before. And I feel like the deals on the table are more attractive for the companies that are buying other companies. They can get a better price for it. They can negotiate more. They have more leverage. So, I mean, I think Vive, the shots, had a good exit. It wasn't, I don't think it was the exit they were envisioning, but it was a good enough exit where the early shareholders, the early investors did well. The founders did well, but probably the later investors, right, that invested in their later stages didn't do as well. They probably got maybe a much smaller return, whatever that is. But these types of deals are going to be happening more and more going into 2023, which is vertical integration. How do we help each other? Getting a brand in that ties in directly to their supply chain and marketing and freight and logistics and all that. And I think like Suja being their number one brand, number one product line is our shots, right?
Right.
Getting Vive, it was just a play to get a bigger part of the market. It's just a market share play. So yeah, so I think like competitors buying each other, vertical integrations, deals that are going to be undisclosed for much less than what they envisioned. This is all going to be commonplace going into 2023, and there's probably going to be some fire sales, where brands are desperate and they need to sell. So
right. We got some comments there, Kenny.
So thank you, Alex and Wade. This podcast has been nothing short but enjoyable. It's really inspiring to see the community that has formed as a result of your show. You both should be proud of how you brought us all together. Keep the content and the positive vibes going. Love that one. And Dima Mararu, I second Kenny. You guys have done an amazing job with running the show. The guests were amazing, and the overall vibe, it was a must for me every week. Thank you, Dima. And I mean, just it kind of makes me emotional. Like these are individuals that have been supporting us from the beginning. They've tuned into every episode. They've sponsored the show. they may comment, you guys make comments on here. You mentioned some: Kenny Hausman, Gavin Conkle, Sean Berg, Dima Moraru, Stephanie Hui, Marcia Yensko, Tia Franzone. I mean, there's so many, I can't even mention them all, that have just, Coco Vinny, been here since the beginning. And without you, we don't have a show. We don't have viewers. So you guys have been consistent, and we love that, and so supportive. So we love you guys. I mean, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And Gavin's I had a post about change a week or two ago, but I think for me it's much about change as it is opportunities, and just maybe you can turn a negative into a positive with regards to the environment out there with layoffs and things like that. I mean, you have to look at yourself. Not everyone can move across the country or across a couple states, but you have to be willing. I mean, Gavin's a perfect example. I mean, he look what he did. He went from being a VP of a pretty significant retailer in the Southeast, and went to the brand side, and that's not an easy move. And so it's just a good example of listening and being open to an opportunity, and taking a leap. Sometimes that's what it is. It's not an ice bath, taking a leap into an ice bath, but it's a leap nonetheless. So, Sean, this is kind of interesting. I don't know if you saw this one.
Wow, look at that. So Sean Berg just received a broker contract while tuned into Friday Vibes. We'd like to hopefully think that was a connection through Friday Vibes. Didn't need to be, but yeah, I think, there's still business that's happening. And I think relationship building is stronger than ever, right? You can't just rely on, okay, let me just put my business card out there and, throw the business cards into a crowd and hopefully I'll get some business. Relationships, reaching out to people, asking how they're doing, and I realized in business that the more that you generally care about each other, you generally care about that person, you generally care about their success, that's going to come through, and someone's more likely to want to do business with you when they know that they know that you care about them. And
right.
So like a couple days ago, this was Tuesday, right? Or Wednesday. We were traveling here to Avila, and my sales guy called me, and Julio, and he just, usually when he, either when I call him or he calls me, like, it's like, oh, make sure to check this store. Oh, there's tags missing from the store. Oh, like, Unified didn't get their order, or, the truck got hijacked or whatever. And, but this time he called me just to say, I just want to check in and say, hi, how's your trip going? How's your son doing? How's family? I just want to wish you a happy holiday, and like, thank you for the opportunity to work with Genius Juice. And it was like a 5-minute call, but it went a really long way. So like, when you take time out of your day to call someone, not to ask them where's the form or where's the product, but just to say hello and to see how they're doing, it really goes a long way.
Definitely.
Yeah. So do you ever get like calls from, I don't know, like, I wouldn't say clients, but like brand partners where they just call or text saying, hey, how you doing? They check in.
Yeah. There's relationships. There's certain relationships that, you definitely have that built in. I take great pride in, I mentioned I caught up with my Jimbo's guys yesterday, and I would say hardly a week goes by that whether I talk to them or, text or something like that, or my team back in Ohio, that's almost a weekly thing too, as far as just keeping in touch. And, so there are certainly some brands that, that you have that relationship with, and it's good, right? It's personal, and I think it's something that develops over time. You certainly don't have that with everyone, but it's definitely special when it does happen. So
exactly. And then it's knowing when to, I guess, hold them or fold them, right? Like there's some buyers, where you don't want to reach out because they're busy, and
right.
like even if you say happy holidays or how are things going, like, so I'm learning a lot of like EQ, emotional intelligence or whatever. Yeah, EQ, emotional intelligence,
Right.
on when or when not to reach out to people, and like when to not push too hard, because as a salesperson, when you represent an organization, your livelihood is selling. Like
Right.
the way you get paid, the way you grow the company is selling. But you also don't want to irreversibly damage a relationship by pushing too hard. And so,
Right.
when I sent out shots over the holiday, and I just did a lob. It was just, oh, try this, and like, what
Right.
do you think of the branding? And I've learned that by not selling it, by asking for feedback and really involving the buyer in the creative process of a brand and a product. Like, I do that for a reason. It's not just to get in touch with someone. It's because I want to hear the feedback. Like, I want to
Right.
know what they're thinking, because they see brands all day. They see 20 brands a day sometimes. They look at the store shelves, they look at consumer habits. And that was what happened with us, right? I remember, we spent an hour or two on Zoom where I just was showing you packaging of our
Right.
new shots. And
Right.
I was hanging on to every word. Like, what do you think of this one, that one? And what's really, I'll say this on here. I showed Wade 5 different packages, okay, of our shots. And I'm like, what do you think of these? And which one do you like most? And Wade, you're like, well, I like this element from that one and this element from this one. If you combine those three into this one, I think you would have a winner. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense in my mind. I'm like, that makes sense. But I sent it out to 15 or 20 buyers, investors, CPG people that are well respected in this industry. And I put it all in a spreadsheet. And what everyone voted on, I'm not bullshitting, okay, was exactly what you said would work. Like,
Right.
and I know you can't hit it every time, right? I mean, you'd be superhuman. But that's the importance of going to people that have been in this industry and know what's hot, what works and what doesn't work. And that's the biggest thing I learned, is that I don't necessarily personally think I'm not, it's not my favorite branding, the one that was eventually picked,
Right.
but it's the one that's going to sell the best off the shelf. So, and that's important to separate your emotions when going into packaging and design. So
Right. Right.
you
Yeah.
nailed it. You nailed
That's
it.
well. Yeah. You're right. Renee's bringing me a coffee. Good job. I'm still on the podcast.
And
Renee's
Renee helped too. Renee
she's trying to
helped in
make
that
me. I was
process.
going to say she's trying to be a guest here on the show. Thank you for my coffee. But you can't get
There
them
you
right
go.
every
We
time.
have coffee.
And I think a couple of things. One, talking about relationships. I think going back to that a little bit before we touch on packaging. I think
Sure.
the biggest part is the genuine. To be genuine, right? I mean, you're not going to have that relationship with everyone, and I think as long as you are yourself and be real, that's the most important thing. And to your point about trying too hard, you can't put a square peg in a round hole. It's you're going to have it with some people, and other people you're not, and that's just the way it is. And I think it's important as a salesperson, people realize that, and don't try too hard, because that creates some discomfort on a buyer's
Yeah.
end. You pick up on that when someone's just blowing smoke at you, or just trying too hard. It's not a good feeling for a buyer, and I'm guessing it's probably not a good feeling for a seller either, right? I mean, because you're trying and you're not getting what you want out of it. And so it's just be yourself. And I think that's the most important thing. That's why I talk all the time about not having a cookie cutter approach for every single customer that you're calling on. I mean, be yourself, be genuine, and talk to each person or each account as an individual, and see what their needs are, and what that buyer or that account reacts to, as opposed to, okay, here's my playbook and I've got to stick to it, right? I mean, it's very important. So
Exactly. So Tia Franzone, Blackbird Foods, just a great comment here to tie into what you're saying, Wade, about relationship building and knowing when to hold them or fold them. Gavin Conkle and I talk weekly about timelines and buyers' desk load and when to respond timely versus aggressively. It's a real thing, and I'm glad I have Gavin to touch base with on whether this is too much or too soon. And another thing I'll mention too, Wade, is just it's the nature of human beings where some people, it's hard for them to connect. It's not like they're fighting, but they just don't get it. There's no connection. And I just want to cite again, V Driven. I think this is a good time to, at least in the middle of our episode or at the end, to say, like, if you don't have the relationship with the buyer or you can't reach them, emailing 10 times is not going, instead of emailing twice, emailing 10 times is not going to get the sale done. The more you do it, it's probably going to reverse and send you backwards.
I love the ones that they'll send you, and I've got one in my inbox now, and it's funny because it's, first of all, it's not a brand, it's a service of some kind that it's not a merchandising thing. It's like, I don't know if it's IT or whatever it is, but
software.
there's the original, kind of like cast in line, right? And then they'll reply to it and keep that original. Following up on my email, don't know if you had a chance to look. And so there's like 4 or 5 in a row where just responding to it. And it's like, come on, it's almost like trying to shame you into replying. It's just ridiculous. So
exactly. Yeah. Tia Franzone said, like, this one also, I hate this one. Is this goodbye? Subject line kills my soul. Like, yeah. So I get a lot of those too, like 5, 6 emails. And so like, sometimes you have to go through a different door, and that, or you don't go through the door at all. You go to the next home, you go to the next building,
Right. Exactly.
So like, you can either say, okay, that person's not responding, I'm going to come back in 3 months or 4 months or 6 months. And there's opportunities everywhere. You don't have to get hung up on one customer, which is what people do. It's a classic mistake that salespeople make, is they're obsessed with closing this deal or this customer, or they want to get into that to their buildings and or in their stores. And you have to realize that they do it on their time, not your time. They may not even be having a review. Maybe they're not even looking for smoothies or frozen pizzas or vegan pizzas. Like, they're not even, maybe they have too many and they're full. Or maybe they're going through management changes. Maybe the president has COVID and they can't make decisions. Like, there could be 30 different reasons why they can't see your item. And it's important also to realize there's 2 reasons that they don't want to see your item or approve your item: condition or a stall. I learned this at Aflac selling insurance. It's a condition or a stall. The stalling means they're just delaying it for no reason because they have other things on their plate. When I say no reason, there's a reason. Like, they're busy, they have other things on their plate, they keep pushing it off. That happens in business, that happens in sales. The second one is condition. Like I mentioned, there's something going on in the company that prevents them from looking at your item and approving your item. And you have to realize it's going to be one of those 2 things. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay. By following up more, that's not going to solve it. Move on, move on to the next one, and what I like to do is I like to wait at least a month, if not more, depending on what they say. If they don't say anything, I do one follow-up. Because, emails get lost. And if the second follow-up, if they don't respond, I don't go back to them for like 3 to 6 months.
Right.
Because I understand something is going on there. It's not personal. They're just not looking at items right now. So
exactly. Anyway. Yep. Spot on. Yeah.
The third request, it's funny. It's like, once you go 3 is too much. It's like, can you imagine if you were, let's say, at a market and someone came up to you, hey, do you want to try these, do you want to try this Vital Protein? And, we'll get into our stuff we love next, but do you want to try this Vital Protein? You're like, nah, I'm good. They're like, are you sure? You should try it. No, thank you. I'm good. And usually the second one, you're like, okay, they tried again. I respect that. I'm good. Once someone does it 3 times, they're like, now you're starting to fucking piss me off. Now you're pushing too hard. So 3 times a harm, I guess, is my catchphrase for that.
Right.
We have some other comments here. And we'll go into stuff we love next because we're running short on time. Uh, Julie Elder, I've been talking to a few brands that make similar products about Aqua's sale or merger as an option to Cooley shutting down. It's rough out there. Keep connecting, networking, having conversations. That's a big thing. I would say every week, set aside like an hour or two just to talk with people from LinkedIn, make connections, network, like put that in your calendar, set that aside. Friday Vibes has been a great forum for connection and conversations about current challenges. Thank you, Julie, and successes. Thanks, guys, for all your efforts. Here's to more community and good Friday vibes in 2023. Appreciate that. Sean Berg, I've tried including a video of "Don't Forget About Me" or suggesting I've been waiting for them ever long. If I'm ghosted, I try at least. I did that. I actually went into a studio and did karaoke, and I think one buyer was like, "Oh, that's funny, but don't talk to me for a year." But most are like, "Dude, like a video is not going to get me to like respond to you." I don't know.
Right.
I'm kind of like, I've learned, Wade, it's just like the simple approach. Just if they don't respond to you, it's just not meant to be. That's
right.
That simple.
Right.
If they respond to you, they want your product because like they see the email, like they know the email, they know the brand,
right.
They've seen the samples, arrive in styrofoam or whatever, and they know you. Okay, like they're not ignoring you. They read it and they just don't respond. Gavin Conkle said, T and I talk about this all the time. If a prospect emails us, we are immediately on top of it. If we wait even an hour, the buyer could have potentially moved on. That is true. And a couple more. Kenny Hausman, I don't even understand how some of the service providers get my email. I don't, Wade, people get my email like my old email, my A one or whatever. And I'm like, are they getting it from LinkedIn, or is it like some email list?
Well, I was gonna say, I think once there's websites out there that have kind of, and once you have the whether it's for it's a .net, it's a .co, it's .com, or what have you, it's really just phishing at that point too. I mean, there are some that actually sell organizations emails and things like that, and it's not but yeah, it's funny, the service ones are just horrendous with regards to IT and just various things. It's terrible. So
yeah, I mean, that's why I got out of insurance. Even though Aflac is a great company, because it's hard when you sell commodities, like like I sold printer. I mean, talk about commodities. I sold copiers and printers for a year. There is no differentiation between what I'm selling and what the guy down the street is selling. We sell the same exact thing. So what was funny is the only way that I succeeded at that company was I took all of my Aflac clients, because I worked at Aflac before moving to this printer and copier company.
And
I just contacted them. And I'm just like, remember me from Aflac? Like, I got this new gig going on. I'd love to come see you and tell you about it. We'll see if you need something. If not, I'll just come by and say hello, and that's the way I got business, was from that personal relationship. But the reason they gave me the meeting is because they like me, because I wasn't trying to sell them all the time. I would help them on claims and insurance stuff. And so it goes back to it. If a person, a person's going to meet with you if they like you. I mean, it's as simple as that. All right. My calendar just said it's Christmas Eve tomorrow. Thank you for letting me know that. I was not aware. So Gavin Conkle, please text me back and stop ghosting me. 7th request. Thanks.
Sorry, Gavin.
Stephanie Hui, helpful point. Alex Bear, stall in condition in light of not receiving a response. Yeah. Also, I'm getting a lot of LinkedIn messages. Do you get those too?
Yeah, it's funny. I try to keep up with them, but
no, there's too many junk
ones. Not so much. I do get a lot of messages, but what's been happening to me as of late, there's a lot of fake profiles or just spam accounts out there, and I've, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because we're big in Chile and New Zealand or what have you. I've seen a lot of those come through, and they're really typically pretty easy to spot, because they have like two followers, and there's no picture, and the name kind of is a giveaway as well. It's just interesting. I'm looking at some of them now, and they're associate at Amazon, commission sales associate at Amazon, another associate at Amazon. It's just, that's been happening a lot. But messaging wise, a little bit, but not. I don't get a lot of spam there, as far as that goes. So.
Yeah, you're lucky. I guess maybe as a brand, they know that like there's a and I'm not looking at the screen right now. I'm looking at my LinkedIn messaging. I had someone that messaged me on December 7th. Hey, Alex, would you be open to increasing your sale? This is the most common fucking message I get. Would you be open to increasing your sales by 50 to 100% within 90 days on a performance basis? Hey, Alex, second message on December 14th. Did my messages go through? And then yesterday at 8:36 a.m., hey, Alex, do you have any thoughts on my initial messages?
Right.
3 times. And it's probably on an auto messaging
right
on LinkedIn. Like they're not actually even, doing this. But the one that got my attention, we got to get into stuff we love, but the last thing I'll say on it is the one that initially got my attention. Now it's everywhere is the Loom videos. Have you seen this?
I don't think so.
So Loom is like where you make videos and your head is in a bubble in the corner and you're talking and then you show a screen share. So usually like someone who's focusing on like website, ROI or like website design or, acquisition cost, advertising online, they walk you through your website and say, Alex, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm with this company and see your website here. You could fix this. You could do this. You could do that. And you see their face. You see them talking.
Right.
And then they walk you through the website and it's like 2 minutes. And that got my attention the first time. I'm like, this is insane. Like they worked so hard. They looked at our website and analyzed it and gave me a report.
Right.
I got to have a meeting with this person. And then after I had that meeting, I realized it wasn't the right fit. It was a lot of fluff. And it was too expensive, I got like 30 more of those,
Wow.
And the jig was up, like everyone was doing it. So I don't know if anyone else has ever had like a Loom video sent to you, like in a link, but that was the thing in this year,
Interesting.
You're lucky you didn't see any of those. I think I'll do one for you just as a joke so you can see what it looks like. So Sarah, I guess Loom is also good when you're, like it could be for someone too. Like if they're walking you through a deck as a pre-recorded video and not a live meeting because they don't have time to meet with you. So Loom is great for that as well. All right, so stuff we love. I know we're on the road here, so what do you got?
I got this Starbucks coffee. That's all I've got. I'm gonna be very generic today because that's I literally don't have anything in this Airbnb. We're kind of dependent. I will say I don't know. I haven't had it, but I would say the new. I'm guessing that I would love the new Coconut Cult Erewhon collaboration. Did you see that?
Yep,
Orange Dreamsicle.
Orange Dreamsicle. I'm gonna go to Erewhon.
That sounds awesome, and what a cool idea to do it. Did I talk about Dot's Pretzels? Are you familiar with that?
I think a while ago. But
so they did. I don't have the package to show you, but they did a seasonal cinnamon sugar flavor, and it tastes like an elephant ear at the fair. It's just phenomenal. Like that, you get that kind of salty, sweet. They're just tremendous. So if you see those, grab them. I first got them when we were in Wisconsin visiting our son, and then we saw them in Greensboro at Target. I think Target has them. So yeah, Dot's cinnamon sugar pretzels. That's at the top of the list too.
Cool. All right.
How about you?
Check it out. So I actually at the farmers market yesterday in downtown San Luis Obispo, there was a chip product called Ohana's. So like authentic Hawaiian chips. So this is like a Kenny Hausman subject here. But have you ever had Hawaiian chips, Wade?
Yes. Yeah. I've had like Hawaiian onion ones.
Yeah. So like they're flat and they kind of bowl up a little bit, and then they're really thick and crispy. They're like kettle style chips, but like even thicker, and they're roasted in this really unique way. And we tried. This guy was sampling them at the fair at the farmers market, and they were sold out of everything. By the way, it was like the only one that was sold out. Everyone had like plenty of product. I'm like, this must be good because they're just flying off the shelf. And they had sea salt, salt and vinegar, which is my wife's favorite flavor. They had Himalayan pink salt, they had barbecue, and they had honey mustard or something. They were fantastic. He had samples, and they were fantastic. So it's Ohana. I'm gonna Google it and see if I can post the link, but it's Ohana's Hawaiian chips.
Very cool.
Yeah, and there's also like a restaurant called Ohana Barbecue, but that's a different company. So anyway, I'll find it and I'll post it. And then and Kenny, you back me up if you love Hawaiian chips. And also, this is really good, man. Like, because I have my knees get sore or when I run, so I take collagen every day, about 36 grams or 36 grams of protein, but about 4 scoops of this.
Nice.
And it's at Costco. I mean, they made it. They're at Costco. This is good stuff. I think this was at Jimbo's, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was fell under a different department, but I'm pretty sure they carry that line.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love collagen. I don't know if you or Renee take collagen at all.
We don't, but have to check it out.
I actually mix it in my Rich Insights Yeti tumbler.
Nice.
I put in hot water and I put the scoops in and I shake it. And then this is the last one. I love this stuff, the Less Cerebral Paleo. That's it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we need to talk about our sponsor, not V-Driven, but our sponsor for this episode, and that's Matt Cotton and his team over at Rooted Food Sales.
I'm going to do the video here. Sorry to cut in. I'm going to do the quick video just for the sound effects.
Do it.
Friday freebies.
Yeah. Yes. So Matt Cotton and the team over at Rooted Food Sales, Christy McGill and the rest of the team. So Rooted Food Sales is a food service broker, and they offer natural food brands a unique opportunity by integrating the traditional broker role with a strong sales focus to provide an enhanced solution to drive growth and branding. They're focused on building deep relationships with their brand partners to execute on long-term strategic vision. They leverage sales expertise, relationships, and food service knowledge to maximize their brand's exposure and drive the growth of an in-house sales team. So, different channels, whether you look at colleges and hospitals and, things of that nature, the little kiosks in airports and things like that, just different channels. So what they're doing is kind of unique in, as far as their model, so it's definitely funny and great people. I think have you been on Matt's podcast? I know I did it. Pleasantly Persistent, right?
Persistent. Yep.
Yeah. So check them out. Rooted. It's rootedfoodsales.com. And what are we giving away, Alex?
That's a really good question. So they're going to be giving away prizes from 2 different brands. We weren't able, because of the holidays and everything, get the confirmation on which brands, but Rooted Food Sales works with a plethora of brands that are selling in the food service, as Wade mentioned. So they're going to be giving away 2 brand prizes worth approximately $100. And also, I'm going to throw this in there just because they didn't get back to us with the exact prize. So we have liberties here. So we're also going to have a consultation where it'll be set up with Matt Cotton, and he'll tell you whether you decide to hire him or not. But it's really more about you learning about food service. How do you sell into food service? What are some strategies? What are some great accounts? I'm sure I'll pass you a few great accounts. So if you're a brand, you can meet up with him and he'll give you some great advice. So that's
right on. Right on.
All right. So I already have the, let's see. I already have the question.
Actually. Great. Make it easy.
Yeah.
For me. Make it easy for me, I should say.
Exactly. You can sip on your Starbucks and your collagen coffee, right?
I like it.
Yeah, that actually be pretty interesting. Collagen coffee? I don't know. That could be a good one.
There you
All
go.
right, so you heard it here first. So there was something Wade and I were reminiscing on, and I'm gonna throw in a 6-pack of Genius Juice for this.
Look at this.
So it's going to be part of this prize because this is a hard freaking question. Wade and I are reminiscing about the show. There was something that happened the first episode, the very first time we did this. What happened when we had the show, and how long was that episode?
Good stuff. We'll see who's been paying attention, huh?
This one is, I mean, I don't even think Gavin can answer this one. I'm only making it hard enough so Gavin doesn't win this week.
Poor Gavin.
I'm just happy that there was no Mary Gavin miss or whatever. Or
yeah, you should have challenged Gavin to do the ice bath. I can see Gavin doing that.
I think this is good enough.
I like it.
It's good. It's for sure good enough. I mean, it was an hour and 10 minutes, but you know what? I mean, the fact that you remembered it wasn't recorded, it was about an hour. That's good enough, right?
Right on.
All right. So, and then Julie Elder said 1.5 hours. Okay. So we'll go the over under. Stephanie had the under.
Yep.
And there we go. So Stephanie is the winner. So Steph, you're going to get the products from Rooted Food Sales worth about $100. The consultation, and I'm going to make the Genius Juice separate. A second question. I think that it's a lot of prizes for one, but the consultation, Stephanie, you can gift that to a brand, and make sure to email Friday Vibes plural 100. You will not win the prize unless you email, or you can message, but email Friday Vibes 100, the number 100 @gmail.com, and I'll connect you with Matt to claim your prize. Second prize, brought to you by the way, just V Driven is sponsoring our entire show.
Right.
But this is going to be a 6-pack of Genius Juice in the continental United States. Can't win if you're in Canada. Can't win if you're in Hawaii. So sorry, Kenny. Can't win if you're in Alaska. So I'll let you, Wade, do the question.
I have to think of a question.
I caught you off guard.
Let's see.
The name of the place you went to last night, or is that too easy?
There you go. That might be too hard. Goodness. How about who did I see? I named 2 individuals by name that I saw since I've been here. Just one of the names. If you know one of the names, throw in the chat. How's that?
I think both. I think they
can
get
both.
both.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So not the person you're seeing tonight. It's the 2 people you saw yesterday.
No, I said I saw them yesterday, and I named them. I think I said more than once, but we'll see.
If you say the person that he's seeing tonight, then we'll mention the sponsor one more time as a gift.
Stephanie has one of them.
All right. Can Stephanie go 2 for 2? That's one. Who's the other one?
One.
You got to do both.
Oh goodness! I hear the train. When you're in Carlsbad, those trains. We actually took a bus down the 101 last night. It was pretty good. So I was gonna say Stephanie's on fire. Tia said it. Yeah. She's right on. I think she gets it, Alex. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I got to do the ice bath here. So
great.
So all right, Stephanie, you win both the prizes, and she deserves it. She supports Genius Juice every day at the Whole Foods in Potrero Hill. So thank you for that, Steph. And so everyone have a wonderful Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. We're in the 6th night of Hanukkah, right? 6. Yep. And we have day 8 is on Sunday.
Right.
And everyone be safe. Take care.
Happy holidays, everybody.
All right. And Wade, love you, buddy.
Love you,
Enjoy your
buddy.
time in Carlsbad.
Thank you. Happy baby first Christmas.
Yes, for sure.
All right. Enjoy.
All right. That's been
See you next
episode
week.
48, sponsored by VDriven. Make sure to go to vdriven.com. You can reach out to Luke Abbott, whose email is in the comments. They're our permanent sponsor here. And we'll be back next Friday at the regular time, 2:30 p.m., 5:30 Eastern, with a special guest as well. So we're looking forward to that. And everyone, have a wonderful holiday.
Take care.